Hey, everybody. Welcome to Love and Reload, the voice of the relocation industry. I am your host, Ben Cross, and I am here live at the University of Texas at Dallas at the Global Sustainability Experience. And I'm joined with my co-host today, Haley Randell. How are you, Haley?
Doing great. How are you doing?
This is an incredible event you put on.
Thank you.
Some help, I'm sure you had a little bit.
Yeah, it was a committee of, I think, 8 students and 4 faculty. We all volunteered our time since January. We had weekly meetings, so glad those are over.
Yeah, now you just get to chill, relax, do a podcast, be fancy. Get in the comments, hit that like button, let us know where you are, who you are, give your company a shout out. We're going to tell you all about the sustainability learnings we had today. We're going to talk to some of the folks who are behind this incredible sustainability initiative and kind of conference that goes on. This is my second year doing this. It's so fun. I love coming out here and actually got to judge. I got to be a little judgy today.
Don't we all like being judgy?
Don't we all secretly we like to be really like good people 364 days a year. We come to things like this and we just judge others.
That's what sustainability is all about, right?
Yes, but really it's all about the students and highlighting the incredible accomplishments they did with their case competition today. So we're going to meet some of those students. We're going to meet the winning team and the runner-up team. They had some incredible ideas. We got people checking in. Look at Adrian in the house. Hit that like button. Let us know where you're at. People are on site. Yeah, people are at UTD. Glomo team's in here. Whoop, whoop. Did I say that right?
Whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
That's
You're
how you
my
say
designated whooper. This is great. Let's look, Amanda's checking in from Phoenix in the house. This is what's up. Drew Phillips. What up, fam? Drew here with Reload Direct, sunny California. What's up, Drew? I want to know what your thoughts are on sustainability, how they pertain to relocation. You got questions, let us know. Haley, give people real quick just an overview of what we did today.
Yeah, so we heard from 2 keynote speakers and 5 student teams, and they pitched a sustainable business idea and won some cash. So
yeah, there was cash prizes.
There was.
We ain't playing around. This is real deal here, real money.
Yeah, well, we had some sponsors. Vistra Energy and Infosys were our main sponsors. And the first place team won $3,000.
Wow,
so that's cash. That they can do whatever they want.
That's a lot of money.
They can go to the bar if they want.
$30 would have done me. Like when I was $3,000. I hope they use that responsibly.
You know, it goes into their account, and we have no say in what they do with it. So
books and ramen.
Good for
That's
them.
what they're gonna buy, I'm sure. Holly Moore checking in from Denver. Yes, what's up? Get in the comments. I want to know about sustainability. If you're watching this show right now, how do you feel sustainability affects your business? I mean, are you thinking about sustainability? Is it an uncomfortable truth that we have to deal with and figure out? I mean, where are you in the journey? If your company's doing something really cool, let us know. Haley, I want to ask you today, what was some of the things that stood out to you as you got to kind of plan this, but also get to watch what was going down?
I loved hearing the different perspectives of our students. Here at UT Dallas, we have a very international and a very diverse student group.
Incredibly diverse.
So it's something. I'm not from Texas, and I didn't realize it.
Where are you from?
I grew up in Connecticut. So
Connecticut. I'm from White Plains, New York.
Oh gosh, sorry to hear that.
Whoa! Wow, shots fired in the early minutes of Love and Relo.
No, but I think the student base here is just so innovative, and there's a lot of different thoughts and ideas. So that was what excited me the most from today.
Yeah, they really brought it. And I had the pleasure of doing this last year too, and judging the competition last year. And every year there's a few teams that just, really just knock your socks off. The amount of effort and research that these teams put in to not only the problem, but the solution. It's pretty incredible. You want to give people like kind of a rundown on the format of how it worked today?
Yeah, so we started off with a keynote speaker, Professor Francois Germain he was out of Paris. So
he
was interesting and had a more global perspective on sustainability.
I thought it was great. Honestly, it started off, he had the laptop going outside. I was like, I don't know how this is going to go.
Yeah.
But by the end, I was ready to like give him a standing O, but he would have seen it. So, but no, it was incredible.
A lot of tidbits in there that, about sustainability, you can preach all you want, but then if there's little tidbits like, oh, I didn't realize that, maybe this policy wasn't the best option, or how to think critically about different types of energies. So
how about the fact that rice accounts for more carbon footprint than aviation?
Yeah, I know.
Rice. Choose pasta. #, choose pasta.
That's what he said. Do you think about your carbon footprint when you have pasta
eat?
As a side?
Yeah, I don't think about when I eat. I think about how did I drive to the hamburger restaurant? How am I getting home? But I'm not thinking, am I using a styrofoam cup when I'm there? But I'm not thinking about do I put my garbage in the right trash can? But I'm not thinking about, do I choose rice versus pasta? But there's a lot of decisions we can make that have implications.
Historically, sustainability, you choose vegetarian over meat. That's the sustainable option. But then you could even break that down. What is the sustainable, vegetarian option or grain option? So it's just a lot.
I'm just glad to know that when the vegetarians get after me, I can be like, yeah, but you're eating rice. don't at me with your rice habits.
Don't start with the palm oil, okay?
The palm oil. Oh man. Here we go. No, it's really cool. I love it. And I love the fact that we were talking about the SDGs as well. Can you tell people out there a little bit about SDGs and kind of like what that's about? Because there's a lot of different aspects of sustainability. I'm not gonna put you on the spot. I'm not gonna make you name them all or anything.
I don't even know how many there are.
And if you're out there right now, if you're watching this, can you Google it and just put a link so people can learn all of them out there? But tell people a little bit about the nuances of sustainability.
So the UN basically put out the Sustainable Development Goals. So these are things like end hunger. They're huge goals that they're essentially unattainable, but they're attainable, right?
We should work towards them.
Yeah. So there's a ton of them, and it's all but for hunger and water and waste and energy and every sustainability initiative or kind of section that you could think about.
Yeah.
And so the students today picked a couple of them and made an idea or made a business focusing on, one of them focused on hunger and was, I think it was a like mobile food truck or mobile, what is it?
Yeah. Kind of mobile produce, about bringing fresh
farmers market.
Mobile farmers market.
Yes, that's what it was. But for college campuses, which is something that we have farmers markets sometimes, but having food from a farmers market that's packaged so you can pick up for lunch, that's something that we don't usually see on campus.
And coming from a transportation and logistics background like I have, I recognize that there's a lot of logistical issues to achieving these goals, right? So like good ideas are great in theory, but then the students are kind of challenged with making them practical and executing on them and saying, okay, how is this actually going to happen? And I think that's where things get really challenging too, is how do you mobilize these good ideas?
We had a lot of the judges asking those questions today. And, logistically, if you're going to build houses in Uruguay, how much is that going to cost versus this consulting, right? So it's just a lot to think about when you're coming up with a business idea, let alone a sustainable business idea. So the judges had some really tough questions today. That's what I was glad I wasn't presenting because we're getting grilled.
I know.
You guys.
We were tough. We were tough on some of them. But talk about the globalness of the UTD student population. The fact that they even thought like, okay, actually we're going to start this business in Uruguay.
Right.
That's not intuitive to me. But I love their rationale there, and everything was really interesting to see the way they thought about it. And I remember some of the students from last year, we're talking about starting their business in India and things like that. And so really cool approach. We got people checking in here. Hit that like button, get in the comments. I want to know who you are, where you are, and what you're thinking about. Drew Phillips says sustainability shouldn't be uncomfortable. It should be an organic truth. With me and at RDI, sustainability is so much more than who we are and what we are doing to save the world or cut carbon footprint. It is every bit about sustaining our people. And don't get me started on the carbon footprint of vegetarian food and green stuff in general. He doesn't like green paint.
He's coming at it.
Man, Drew. Wow. Talk about it.
Well, crazy. That's what gets me excited about sustainability is that everyone has opinions, but business sustainability, you can make an argument. You can say, I want to make this business and I want to make this much money and this is the market. And you can come up with a concrete plan that maybe it isn't, the most perfect plan, but it's a good plan and it's making, trying to make the world a better place. So, and make some money. That's what we really like.
And it's got to do both.
Yeah, it does.
Because it's not sustainable if it doesn't make money.
Well, someone could be funding it. But
yes. All right, fine. On that note, we're bringing another guest on here. No, I'm just kidding. Stay put. Actually, we're gonna welcome to the table. We're gonna welcome to the table.
The stable.
Here, come on over. Dr. Almost said Dr. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Dr. Dorothy
Dorothy
I love it. I'm working on it.
Dorothy Han is fine.
Dorothy Han here. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Wasn't this fun?
It was really fun.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit, just a little bit about what you do here at the university, and tell us first start us there.
So I'm a professor of operations management.
I'm in her class right now.
Yeah,
extra bonus points today.
I know. You get extra credit right now.
We had a class yesterday.
Yeah. It's great class.
So I'm at the Navinjal School of Management. I'm also chair of the Sustainability Committee. So that's my connection to sustainability. And I do research on sustainable supply chains. And specifically, I look at food waste and how the different partners in the supply chains can work together to reduce food waste.
Well, I got to tell you, I noticed I went out for a little bathroom break there, and I noticed that the students and the folks were bagging up the food and they weren't wasting it. I go to so many conferences in a year, and all that food gets, I presume, gets thrown out afterwards.
Yes. So this is actually a student organization called the Food Recovery Network. These are volunteer students who are available whenever there's food left over at events on campus.
Wow.
We notify them in advance. They come, they bag the food, and they take the food to usually a shelter or a food bank or food pantry, usually a shelter.
Yeah.
So that's what they did today. And so, yeah.
I was looking at that Baba Ganoush, and I was like, you put that in my car. Because I think that's pretty good.
I almost took the back.
You almost took the Baba. Everybody's fighting over the Baba. Like, these homeless people aren't getting my Baba. No, I'm just kidding. No, but that's really awesome. That's really noble.
Yes.
Yeah, and tell us a little bit about how the university works on sustainability and kind of some of the initiatives and projects they're going, and how people might be able to get involved, right? If there's people that are watching this and they want to get involved, how does that work?
So we have a lot of programs on sustainability here on campus. A few that we're really proud of are the recycling programs. Very extensive. We have a composting program that anybody, especially students, can take part in. You get a little bin and you put your organic waste and it gets picked up. And then it gets processed by a composter. So that's a really good initiative. We have community gardens, 2 different places. There's an eco hub where we grow vegetables, and students, staff, faculty, mostly students, but everybody can go and help grow vegetables.
Is that a volunteer kind of garden?
This is all things that people do on their spare time, on the weekend. And then the extra food is donated outside of campus, but also for hungry students on campus. We have a pantry here inside campus. So that's great. We're also a back-friendly university. We have certification. We have bees making honey on campus.
Where is I gotta see. You gotta give me a tour. We gotta do a tour of all this kind of cool stuff here.
I drive by the bees all the time and think about how they stay where they are. I feel like we don't see bees, but then they're right near a parking lot.
How do you keep those bees where they are?
I know. There's a little fence. I don't know. Maybe they stay there.
They stay behind the fence. There's a fence. Why do the bees stay put?
I don't know, but today there was Earth Fair, and my table as the chair of the sustainability committee was right next to the bees. So I was talking to the bees guy, and I learned that in the bee world, the females do everything. Like the queen, obviously, but past that, the males are useless, and the females do everything. And
taken out of context, that can be really bad or accurate.
Interesting to learn.
It's unbelievable.
Oh wow!
But yeah,
this is getting good. Haley, you should be on more often. We need Haley.
Happy to.
This is great. I want to know if you're watching this right now. Do you have experience with bees? What are you doing? How are you practicing sustainability? Are you gardening? Are you growing your own, fruits and vegetables? Are you doing things from a composting or recycling, effort? I got a question. So if I work in an office and they're not recycling in that office, what's the best way without getting fired to bring that up?
I think you want to bring up facts, right? And talk to people about how it's good to recycle, that it diverts all the material that you would recycle away from landfills. Landfills are huge contributors to the gases that lead to climate change. And then it's profitable for many companies to buy the recycled products and make new products out of it. So anytime you can make new products out of old stuff, it's a good thing because you don't.
I would also ask why.
Yeah,
why aren't we
not
recycling? Is it a funding thing? Is it a I just don't want to thing? Then maybe you could take that on.
I'm just thinking to myself, single-handedly recycling for the whole building. No, I mean, I'd be more apt to buy the blue bin probably and just set it out. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking right here. We got garbage cans with blue bins. I mean, just the availability. I think we have to make sustainability more accessible.
Well, something that I've done in the past as a sustainability coordinator at a university is you actually take people's trash cans out of their office. So then when they go to throw something away, they have to think about it, stand up, walk to a place, and maybe that makes them think, "Ooh, maybe I shouldn't be making all this waste, or maybe I should be recycling this because there's a trash can and a."
So you steal people's trash cans
voluntarily,
and then we consolidate. There's a trash hub with a blue and a black cans. Should there be a third can for compostable?
There could be many cans. Yeah,
there could be a lot of cans.
And some places
you ever get can fatigue?
Yeah. Totally. The compost bin. I've had people ask me, "Oh, I have a tea bag. Do I take the staple out of the tea bag to like?" It can get really overwhelming if you dive deep. So yeah, you can get bin fatigue for sure.
Bin fatigue. I love it. That's like all the audience right now has bin fatigue for years now. This is great. I want to hear what people are saying in the comments here. That was a joke about my name. Danny over here in New Jersey checking in. What's up, Danny? Amanda Rakowski says Global LT is so passionate about this. Not only in our offices, we have a Lomi composter.
Oh, I know what that is.
What is that?
So it's a machine that you can put organic waste in. You press a button, and 4 hours later, you have soil. I have one of them.
4 hours later, you have soil?
The first time I thought, this is joke, somebody came and replaced, but it's true. You put any banana peels, avocado pits, all the stuff. You close the lid, you press a button, and then literally you have soil.
Is it a big machine?
Like dirt soil?
Yeah, dirt.
How big is this machine?
Yeah, how much does this cost?
Yeah,
I feel like Christmas is around the corner.
Yeah, it's about $400, I think. I had it on a Kickstarter before it was even
you got it early. She's like,
market.
She's already like, yeah, I was early on that.
These people that they reached out. So, but no, it's
Maybe
really
get one
cool.
for the office.
I should. We should. You know what? I think I'm gonna have my Lucid private offices invest in one because we all share the cost. How much was the capacity? How many banana peels can this thing take? Is it like a small bit, or you could throw it fill it in like a garbage can full?
Like this big, a small garbage bag, full.
Okay.
You press it down. Yeah.
Nice. Amanda,
I do it
look
once
at that.
a week.
Once a week?
Yeah.
What do you do with the soil?
So you add it. So you can't just use it directly to plant because it's too intense, but you can mix it with potting soil. I think they say 1-to-10 ratio, and then you can use it as fertilizer for your soil.
We need it here in Texas. The soil is rough.
The soil's trash here. What's up with that?
I don't know.
Well, and there's very little of it. There's so much erosion. I feel like somebody needs to solve that problem next year. Let's see here. Amanda's saying there's so many opportunities every minute to practice sustainability. Yes, Amanda, I love the ideas. Jamie in Mississippi checking in from warm and sunny. Getting warmer, Jamie. I hate to tell you. Heard a really bad fact about that, but every little thing helps. Richard Majewski, hi from London. What's up, Richard in London? Yeah, we're international. Yeah, you know we're international. Richard skips dinner to be on the show in the audience. Bees are really interesting the way they find their way back to the hives and nests.
I want to know more. Richard,
yeah, I know. Major cliffhanger there, Richard. Put a link in there. We have 3. Amanda says we have 3 hives on our farm. Wow. How much space do you need to keep a beehive?
Well, I think there's like 10 here. At least when you drive by, is it each box a hive, do you think?
I guess, right?
So.
Yeah.
There's a bunch in the fenced in area that
make it up.
Bees live.
Fine. Nobody's make it up. Jana checking in from Brazil. Can't wait to know more about the sustainability experience. Jana, when are you heading to Dublin, by the way? Let us know.
Oh, I was just there. We went for an MBA class trip.
Wow.
A bunch of us went and we visited a bunch of companies and learned about sustainability actually a lot in Dublin. Really interesting.
That's way better than my college experience. Let's see. Amanda saying, did you know Starbucks cups are not recyclable? It seems like a major miss. That's like half my cups.
Well, they're probably a lot of coffee cups have like a waxy liner inside, or else the liquid would just go through. So that could make them not recyclable.
Right. So, but most Starbucks places now will accept reusable cups. So you bring your own cup, and they should accept fill it. Yeah. So that's the best option. Whenever you can do reusable, it dominates.
How do they price that? Do they like check out they say that's a venti that looks like a...
Well, I used to do that all the time. I would go and say I'd like a tall, and they always fill it up more.
Me too,
absolutely.
Yeah. And they give you a 10-cent discount. So
10-cent discount, more products.
Starbucks is coming after us.
You're being sustainable. Now we're talking about the ROI, and I think that's really what it comes down to too. Is that people get hung up on? Is there an ROI on sustainability? And I think, proving that it's an ROI and a better customer experience, I think that's when we start to really unlock sustainability. John's going to Dublin tomorrow. That's great. Richard has a question. Can you recycle the machine, the composting machine, or do you need a small appliance recycler?
Yeah, we had a team talk about that today.
Electronics, right?
You know what? Let's grill Madison when she comes on about the recyclability of the LOMI machine. I'm sure she'll know that off the top of her head. Richard's saying, what gets me with recycling is it's a science to know which plastics, etc., are recyclable. I just recycled a lot and stand accused.
Well, that's why you're supposed to reduce is step number 1, right? So you
British.
don't produce much recycling.
Are we doing selfies?
Yes.
What's going on? I like how people are just like acting like, hey, all right, there we go. Look at us. That's awesome. Well, I want to talk to some of these young people who are doing this really cool work here. Dorothy.
Very nice. Yeah, nice talking to you.
Nice to meet you, Dr. Very cool. Let's bring out come on over, our runner-up here in second place today in the competition. Sneha, how are you doing?
Hello, Ben.
Welcome.
Great.
Welcome to the show here. Grab that mic. There you go. Get it. There you go.
Right.
Should be slightly uncomfortable. There you go. All right. Very good.
Accepted.
There we go. So Sneha, I got the wonderful experience of watching your team present today. You did a wonderful job. Congratulations.
Thank you. I think it was a wonderful experience presenting, and not only that, but also getting to hear so many wonderful ideas that were presented. And yeah, thank you. It was a great experience. Thank you to Haley for hosting the entire thing. I know she keeps busy, sending out all of these weekly check-ins and making sure that we're on time. So thank you for that.
No problem. I'll stop emailing you today. I promise. I promise.
So tell everybody at home or wherever you are, what was your business idea?
All right. So our business idea comprised of this solution that comprised of intelligent vents and intelligent thermostats that would basically fit into your homes. And so think about it from a perspective of, say, for example, you come home and you need to heat up your apartment. But in order for you to do that, you're essentially going to be setting the thermostat so that the entire apartment heats up at one time. But you wouldn't want to do that because at the end of the day, maybe you just want your bedroom to be heated.
Right.
And to do
or
that
overnight, right?
Overnight,
you might just need heat in your bedroom for 8 hours, but you're heating the whole apartment.
You're heating the whole apartment. That wastes energy, that bumps up the electricity bills. And, it really does not help anybody. It's basically increasing your carbon footprint. And so that's where we came in. So with our solutions, with our events that we provide, you can make sure that only one of the rooms heats up or cools up at your convenience, and you can control it through your mobile apps and through the thermostats, and they work with existing thermostats out there. So it makes it so that it's easy to put in and easy to control.
Sneha, I love that idea. And everybody out there, hit that like button. Let Sneha know what you think of the idea. Have you ever had this problem where you need a cooler room or a warmer room and you don't want to cool or heat the rest of your place, or maybe you want your room cool and somebody wants their room warm? I mean, gosh, I can think about the implications at the office where you're getting these thermostat wars.
Oh,
You've been in a thermostat war, nobody wins.
Yes, somebody wants it too cool and somebody's just shivering in a corner.
Yeah, and then they passive aggressively creep over while you're in the bathroom and turn it.
Yeah, and you come back and you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, and then
No, all my offices have locks on the thermostat, so you can't change it. So I end up wearing gloves when I'm at work.
And then you have to go to like the big boss to be like, hey, really though, can we please get like a little bit, like a half a degree here?
Right, end of the year rolls in, they're like, so what do you expect from the company? I'm like, just to be able to control the thermostat, maybe.
Well, I bring in a heater and then get in trouble because I have a space heater.
Oh my gosh. I worked at a place in Michigan where every single person on the second floor, half the ladies on the second floor all had the space heater underneath and a blanket on their lap and a space heater under their desk.
That sounds very comfortable.
It does.
I wish I had that idea.
And so I'm thinking if these people knew the electricity they were spending on those space heaters, because those things eat up a lot of electricity.
They're
those
dangerous.
Are like hair dryers.
They're fire hazard.
Fire hazard, yes. You get a little of that next to a waste paper basket.
And your blanket that's just hanging.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I know.
It'd be terrible.
It's just an accident waiting to happen,
Yeah.
It's not good for anybody.
And probably more costly. Yeah, it seems ridiculous. So I love this idea. I also have this situation where in my house, I have a 2-story house, right? And in the living room, it's like a great room, right? So it's like a 2-story, like kind of goes all the way up, right? But and I have a thermostat on the top floor and a thermostat on the bottom floor.
Right.
but the top floor thermostat vents down to the bottom floor because the ceiling for the top, it goes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm over here trying to do it,
Engineering.
and I can't, and then I can't close the vent because it's like 20 feet off the, you know, so I got like a broom on a broom on a broom trying to hook it. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
So how are you going to fix that?
So that is where our intelligent vents come into play. So those are all automated and fitted with IoT technology.
IoT, tell people what IoT
So,
means for the people that can't spell IoT.
So for people that don't know what IoT is, that is basically Internet of Things. And it gives you the compatibility to kind of control all of these devices that are out there with a click of a button on your phone or just an external thermostat, just where you can reach it. And so when you just click on the button, it easily solves all of your problems and controls it through the internet.
All right, so let's hear what people have to say about this. I want to know, what do you think about Sneha's idea, and would you buy it? How much would you pay? How much would you send her right now to her Venmo if she would figure this out for you? I want to know. Jonathan Johnson saying, a fantastic idea. I live in a 2-story home, and it is difficult to find a happy medium between both levels. Yeah. And then let's see, Holly Moore saying, what a great idea in the office, especially.
Yes, and this solution especially works for newer commercial spaces. So when we say new, we mean we're building everything from scratch. So that helps fitting in those vents way easier, and the zoning. So for people that don't know what zoning is basically when you have a central air conditioning, you're creating zones for those airflows and channels to be created so that you can kind of control where the air flows at one point. And that helps the different spaces to control the airflow in different rooms. And yeah, you can control it through your phone.
So could I theoretically like each office, like say I have my own office, she has her own office, you have your own office, we're 3 offices. Could we each have our own like thermostat and control?
Well, theoretically, yes. I mean, if you have vents in those spaces, so think about it in a way where if you have a vent, then you can make it work. So wherever you have a vent, you fit in with these systems and they automatically control through your phones or, like I said, other thermostats. So you can control the temperature between those 3 rooms individually.
It sounds like a reason to get people to come back to the office too.
Yes.
I know I don't want to go into work. It's cold, blah, blah, blah.
No more space heaters.
Maybe if it's more comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Jillian on my team, she sits in Connecticut. She got the blanket on her. Yeah, no. Sorry, Jill. With the blanket on her lap, she got the space heater going on. She's got a dog or something giving her heat on her shoulder. She's got all this stuff going on. So if I was like, Jill, no, you come in, you have your own office, you have your own thermostat. Don't worry, it could be 84. It'll be great.
84?
I don't
Jillian,
know
what are you doing?
What would it take, Jill? What's your perfect put that in the I want to know, what is your perfect temperature? Everybody has their own number.
72.
Oh yeah.
What's your 72? Inside, indoors. Does your number change in the summer versus in the winter?
Well, yeah, because you have to pay more. So it's we keep our thermostat at 68 in the winter and 72 in the summer, right?
Yeah.
And
I think
What's your number?
I think 70 would be like my happy number. Sometimes 69, but yeah, I think 70. I'd go for 70.
I do have an electric blanket though, so once it's 68, I'm cold. And
see, Adrian just said 68, and you're over. So now we're in the same office. Adrian's on 68, sweating, and you're over here and you're shivering.
I'm not
and
shivering.
You got an electric blanket plugged in.
Well, a good
and now I'm paying for your electric blanket and his 68.
But a good sustainability like thought process is heat your body, not your house.
Yeah.
So like
heat your body, not your house.
Yeah. So if
that's the thing, we say that.
Yeah, like layer up a little bit, and so that way you don't have to heat your whole entire room and your whole house. This is what Sneha is trying to.
I run hot. Air condition yourself and not your place.
Yeah. Have you? Okay. So all those surgeons who have those like vests that have cold water running through, you can get one of those. It's like a heated blanket for cooling.
You just have one of those portable fans built into your jackets when you're working. Just where's this breeze coming?
Where's that? Where's that breeze coming from? Jana's in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Ooh.
She says 75 is her
70 inside. Ooh, girl. Celsius, you'd be dead.
Amanda's over here at 70. Yep. Jillian saying, LOL, you are not wrong, but I know I'm not. Let's see here. Adrian saying, I worked in an office where a space heater blew out a breaker. We had to wait 3 hours for repairs to be done. Ooh. What happened to that person? Did they get did they get something bad happen to them? Like when they blew the breaker? Especially if it's like a restaurant. Is
I
it
hope
office?
they're okay.
Oh, you're worried about their safety. I'm like, let's go revenue
Fired.
here, people. Richard's saying bees, talking about bees still. Richard's very precise. He likes it at 71.6, which is 22 degrees Celsius. Oh,
okay. Well,
that's a Celsius comment.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, can you even go to
I
decimal
don't-
places on thermostats?
I
wish
probably
you
can.
could, but
On your smart ones, probably.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So what would
Definitely.
that kind of situation? I want to understand. So we're all obviously very sold on this idea, right? What would that cost? How do you price something like that? Have you looked into that?
Yeah, so we looked into the prices. And so if you think about it, one system kind of comprises of, now that we're pricing it, an installation would somewhere be around 2,400, and that includes all of the third-party contractors that we'd kind of have to work for. And now these are energy auditors and some installation team, because we need their expertise. We cannot just go into a house and just start fitting in anything we want to. So we want to approach it from a very expert opinion. So if you think about one smart vent, it could go somewhere around 2,400. And so when you move to multiple different vents, we charge you accordingly for the number of
So
vents.
this is the vent closing and opening to
Yes.
regulate the temperature in that room. Do you also now, can you use like a Nest thermostat, or would you have to have a proprietary thermostat?
Oh yeah, so our systems will be compatible with all existing thermostats that you're kind of working with. So
okay.
Nest, Honeywell, anything,
Okay.
you name it. Yeah.
And then you also had a product. I thought this was interesting, but I didn't think it was as good for like construction was already present. But the judges and I, as a judge, we deliberated about these things, and some people have more experience than I had. But you also have something where you can actually put something into the vent itself.
Yes.
What was that?
Yes. So these are the dampers that we're talking about. So when we're kind of building your systems from scratch, so these, instead of being external, these would kind of go internally. And the benefit that it kind of provides you with is that it helps you save more energy, because the airflow directly gets cut off right from the start. And so you're not losing out on that extra air when it's coming out.
So you're not filling that vent all the way up to where the return is. You're cutting it off and redirecting it with a damper.
Precisely.
That kind of flips in the That's really
and that's also automated, so nobody's reaching into the air vents. Don't worry. Yeah.
It's very inventive.
Wow, the hits keep coming, people. This is why you watch. Hit that like button if you want more puns. If you don't hit the like button, we'll assume you don't want more puns.
I got plenty.
Hit that like button. She's on a roll. This is great. So is this an idea that you would seriously consider kind of going to market with?
Oh yeah, I mean, this is definitely something that's pretty interesting to consider in terms of reality, because I think where we came from when we were approaching this problem was very realistic. Like, I live in a 4-bedroom apartment with 3 other roommates. And again, they do like to keep it pretty cold, and I'm pretty much shivering in my room. And so when we were thinking about it, we were like, wait a minute, we don't really have something like this on the market. And I do think this could be a real demand that people would want to try out, and people would want to just, reach the sustainability aspect of saving more electricity and energy. So yeah, I think there's a demand out there.
Was there a story in particular? Was there a moment or like an aha moment that made you kind of think of this idea and decide this is going to be the idea you go with?
Yeah, I mean, when we were discussing as a group, so my group comprised of 4 other amazing members. I mean, they did some fantastic jobs, and when I throw out these numbers, I'm not owning any credit to it. It's completely the rest of my
Take
team.
the credit.
Oh, I mean,
steal
guys,
ideas. I
it's
mean, that's
all
what
me.
capitalism
It's teamwork.
is
It's
built on.
teamwork.
Steal ideas.
Yeah, but they were wonderful members, and we were kind of brainstorming. And again, we were all students here, so everybody was kind of thinking of various different ideas. But we kind of singularly stuck for this one because, again, it's very personal to our needs, and we didn't have a solution to it. And like we all know, I mean, students are pretty broke. So we were thinking, wait, why am I paying so much extra for no reason when I don't even need it?
So do you think landlords are going to pay $2,600 for a vent, though?
I mean, if it helps out in the bigger, so the bigger picture here, again, is saving energy, right? We're not looking for, well, would you want to save costs? The bigger picture here is, well, do you want to save the world? Do you want your future generations to kind of enjoy the same benefits as you? And I think the answer is yes, because going forward, this would be a big step towards sustainability. So yeah.
I mean, I think you provided some numbers that it would save anywhere between 16 and 30% of your energy bill.
Yes.
Or the heating and cooling aspect of your energy bill, because there's lights that aren't affected and things like that, right? Hot water and things like that aren't affected. But over time, I mean, you could probably do the math. It would probably take a while, but I mean, probably maybe, well, I mean, gosh, solar panels have like 10-year plus, kind of returns on investment. So, and I think it would be desirable too if you were buying a home that had a system like this in place.
Yes.
Like, it's already desirable for me, like as a prospective home buyer, to buy a smart home or a home that has like a Nest or something like that already installed. So this is like 2.0 version.
Right.
Of that,
the next level into just reaching those numbers.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sneha, this is really awesome. Thank you so much for being here. We've actually got another team. I'm gonna welcome another team here. Get in the comments, hit that like button, send a little virtual round of applause out here. We're gonna invite Madison Hill. It's a chair.
Hey, Madison.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Madison here. Your team was the first place winner of the competition.
We were.
Yeah, girl.
Great job. Where'd the trophy go? Somebody stole your trophy.
No, it's right there. Do you want me to grab it?
Get the trophy. Put it up here. Yeah, put the trophy.
It's a heavy trophy.
Well, now that makes sense. Just don't grab from the top because I don't want to break the trophy. Terrible. Woo! Sit it right. Oh, she's like right up front. It's like a fish, right? When you go fishing, you put it right up close to the camera.
I was hoping we could take the top off and drink out of
my
it.
Tinder profile.
Yeah,
too.
there you go. There you go. That's what brings them out. There you go. Let's put this thing to it's like over here. That's a great picture for your Tinder profile right there. Just
really
all
is.
trophy. All trophy. That's great. Oh my gosh. Well, now we know why y'all compete. I thought it was for the cash. No, it's for the glory.
It's for the Tinder pic.
This is great. So how did you come up with this wonderful idea? Why don't you tell people what the idea is first?
Yeah, so our idea is Rotor, which is AI assisted small appliance repair on an app platform. And then our AI is named Ivy. I've grown very emotionally attached to her. But basically, we provide the best solution for individual diagnostic problems in terms of small appliances that may be broken or not performing at their normal function.
Now, why small appliances? Tell us a little bit about that decision.
Yeah, so small appliances are notorious for breaking and also simpler in terms of their circuits. So going into this project, a big concern in terms of AI is liability from the solutions that they give us as users. And so we wanted to make sure that we weren't going to get people electrocuted trying to fix big dryers, refrigerant units, things like that.
Well, yeah, and these are more mechanical versus like an iPhone. Like, good luck, right?
Absolutely,
it's
yes.
Like, this is more mechanical, so you could probably do that. I thought that was a really interesting point in your presentation.
So what kind of small appliances? What can you give us an example?
Yeah.
Is like coffee maker? Or?
Yeah, small appliance coffee maker is our favorite example. We love coffee maker. Small air filters that are in your house. Let's see, anything that really plugs into the wall. So we would talk mini fridges, hair dryers. I could keep going for days.
Hair
Small
dryer.
microwaves.
Oh my gosh, magical. A
Yeah.
flat iron. They stop working and you don't know what to do with it, and it just goes in the trash. Awesome.
Yeah, I like this idea. So how did you decide to come up with this idea? How did you decide? Like, what was your aha moment for this?
Yeah, we were sitting in my roommate and I, Rebecca, who was on our team, were sitting in our dorm. The power was out, and we got really upset because when the power goes out, our mini fridge stops working, and so does our microwave.
Exactly.
And so we have to reset the time on the microwave, and we never remember how to do it. So every time it's like a 20-minute ordeal. It's a nightmare. So that's where it came from.
And the power goes out all the time around here. It seems like,
like
just for like a
Thailand.
split second.
Yeah, and they
Oh,
email
shit.
you every time.
Oh, like 4 times. They get
Yes.
4 emails.
And
Oh,
it's
the power's
always
out.
us.
Well, it's still
Yep.
out. Oh, it's not
And how
back
are you
on.
reading this? I guess on your phone or
Yeah.
this email, right? Not on your
Yeah.
computer. So the power's out, and you're like, how are we gonna
It's the clock.
do the clock?
Yeah.
How are we gonna redo the time on this mini fridge? Do you have the micro fridge? You also rock the micro fridges nowadays, or no?
The what?
Where the microwave and the
Micro
refrigerator-
fridge?
the mini fridge and the microwave are one unit.
What?
No, this is back in the day. Y'all don't do
We
that?
Back
we
in
have
what
our
day?
microwave on
Back in my
top.
day, okay? Back in my day.
Yeah.
Back in 2001 to 2005, when I was an undergrad in upstate New York, the micro fridge. It was one unit. It was fridge, freezer, microwave on top.
Okay.
All one thing.
But it's not. It's the same appliance.
It's the same appliance.
Okay, we have our
Put that in
fridge,
your app.
freezer. They're not the same. So.
AI will not know how to fix that.
So do you buy a fridge or rent a fridge?
We rent it.
Okay.
You rent a fridge?
Yeah.
How do you rent a fridge?
It's part of the move-in package. It's
the school rents it to you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, and then what do you do about your microwave?
The microwave is rented with the fridge. They put it in the same place, but they're separate appliances.
Imagine they weren't.
Is it a Frigidwave?
A Frigidwave? No, it's a micro fridge. It ain't a Frigidwave.
In my mind, a micro fridge is a
fridge.
small fridge. Like a micro chihuahua is a small chihuahua.
It's a Frigidwave. She said no it's a micro fridge.
You can say it all you want, but
No,
it's
but
still
no,
just a
it's
small
clicking.
fridge.
No, it's clicking. The micro is the microwave, not the
I know, I
size
get
of
it, I
the
get
fridge. I just got it. Okay. 20
It's a
years later,
Frigidwave,
I
okay.
just got it. Yeah, so you would rent that, and they'd have a truck full of them at the end. They'd bring them out, and there you go. And then you and your roommate would split the cost, and then.
So do you think UTD fixes them though, or do they just throw them out if it breaks?
So UTD contracts to another company. I have no idea what they do. I had a friend whose fridge exploded or microwave exploded. They're on top of each other, so nobody knew which one
They're
broke.
micro fridges.
They weren't connected.
And
So you
so
can get rid of one, but not the other.
yeah, I don't know what they did with it. I assume they threw
Probably
it
went
away.
in the landfill.
Yeah.
This is really interesting. But if a company owns it, I bet they service. I bet they do service. I bet they have a shop where they service these things.
Well, there's probably a limit to how much it's going to cost them to fix it versus how much it's going to cost to buy a new one, right?
And I want to ask you that question too, because what do you think that break point is, and does it make sense to repair? When does it make sense to repair, and when does it make sense to replace? I'm trying to get my thumb in view. Richard says we would all care about the world. That we would. He doesn't even yet. We would all care about the world, but there's a line in terms of wealth below which people can't afford to care. Can't afford to care. You mean they can't afford to make sustainable choices, Richard? Or they're so rich that they're just like, screw it, I'll get a new fridge.
I think he's saying people are like too poor. They can't.
You might be,
They can't.
but you don't know.
But this
Richard's
sounds like
crazy.
but
Richard
this is
might be
a-
saying the other thing.
Maybe, but their solution was really interesting to me because it helps people kind of fix what they have. So if you don't have money to buy a new micro fridge, you can
It sticks. It's catchy.
you can just go online and use this tool, and there's an ad subscription, right? That you didn't actually have to pay,
Yes.
and so you just watch an ad, and then it shows you how to fix whatever is broken.
Haley's so much better at this than I am. Okay, so walk us through the process. Now your micro fridge is not functioning. What do you do?
Okay, so your micro fridge is not functioning. You log into Rotor and you let them know my micro fridge is not functioning.
You're typing this
You're
into
typing it
Rotor
into a
app.
chat.
Okay, chat app.
And the chat responds, "What do you know about your micro fridge?
It broke.
It broke. Okay, can you take a photo of the part that's broken, or is
Yes.
it not cold inside?"
You're going to be the AI. You're going to be Ivy,
Absolutely.
and I'm going to be an undergraduate student with a micro fridge.
Okay.
So I'm going to take a picture and I upload my photo.
Okay, so Ivy is going to have image recognition and matching software that allows us to kind of identify the actual model number of the micro fridge we're looking at.
So I don't even need to know because I'm not there. And I can't really figure it out.
Ivy knows.
Ivy knows.
It knows.
Yes.
I thought this is one of the really cool applications of your app.
Yeah. So Ivy is going to cross-check that image with images of other micro fridges as well as images from manuals to identify the closest micro fridge match Ivy can find, which is usually accurate. Ivy will ask, is this number on the fridge, if you know if you can find it or not, and if not, we move on forward with the best
We
answer.
just assume it is. Okay,
Correct,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. It looks right. Sounds right.
Well, it kind of made me think of, I was learning about this app that's for plants, and you take a picture of the plant and it tells you what it needs, how to feed it. Oh, it's got this wrong with it. And once you just put that data in there, then Ivy will know, hey, your micro fridge, historically, this has been the problem. Maybe try fixing this first.
Exactly.
And that's what they do with cars too, right? But
Yes.
it's so much easier if you can just talk to your phone, and Ivy over there will tell you what to do.
And we're gonna stay with this example, but first I want to tell you, Richard says, great point, referring help to fix what you have and deserved winner. He's getting emotionally attached to Ivy himself. There's a man in England who is now
Ooh.
emotionally attached
Richard.
to your AI. Yes.
Yeah.
I also think
that's
that-
good. That's virality. Right
It's
there.
fitting that Ivy is wearing a green jacket. Like, Isn't that the superhero lady? Is that
Yeah,
she wears green?
Poison Ivy.
Poison Ivy? Thank you.
The green branding. We were thinking more environmental green, but yeah, sure,
That works too. Yeah.
superheroes.
How about all that cash you want?
Yeah.
Straight cash.
They won
All right,
$3,000 for their
$3,000.
team.
And we're gonna get to what she's gonna do with that. Hopefully, it doesn't involve Tinder. But all right, next. So now we're on the app. We're on there. I've taken a picture. We've identified this is my micro fridge. Now, what are my choices, my options?
So, I'm trying to think. Have we asked you what's wrong with your micro fridge, or what?
It's not turning on.
It's not turning on.
It's not
okay.
cooling.
So
is it plugged in?
That exactly. So what Ivy's going to do is go in order with most likely scenarios of what's wrong. So the first question is literally going to be, is it plugged in?
Yes, it's plugged in.
And then after, is it plugged in? Do you know if the actual socket is active?
Ooh,
good
that's a
question.
good one.
Try something else. Try a lamp.
That's half my hairdryer issues is the socket's blown.
Yeah.
So then I'll try the lamp. Yep, my lamp works. Doesn't work yet.
And then so we would go on forward by going piece by piece into diagnostics of what the individual parts of the fridge could be broken. Fridge is a little bit more complex in terms of circuits.
Well, yeah, we'll assume like maybe my compressor's out or something like that.
Yeah.
It sounds like something could happen. Okay. All right. So now we identify my compressor's out, but I need a part.
Yeah.
So now what happens?
So Ivy is going to recommend the most sustainable and then the most cost efficient part option. That's going to be an alternative for that piece that's broken so that you can go in and replace it.
What do you mean most sustainable? What is the
So
most sustainable part?
we would be tracking the and the information on this is kind of hard to identify, so this is not completely solid.
Sustainability in general,
yes, yeah, absolutely. But we would be looking at emissions produced by different parts suppliers to try to create the lowest emission option and give it as a sustainable choice, possibly also with a sustainable partner that's looking for that's in the business of making parts that are going to last a long time.
Yeah, I think most companies are trying to track their greenhouse gas emissions, so you could probably figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one of the questions that came up for the keynote speaker was, how do we track stuff that's manufactured in China and then comes over here? And he was saying there's an imported emissions rating or score or quantification. He's saying France was like 40% of their emissions came from imported goods or whatever if they looked at their footprint.
What's that scope 3 greenhouse gas emissions right there? It's really hard to quantify and it kills you. It's just so much bigger than the scope 1 and 2. So.
Yeah, we're getting real deep here. We're getting real deep. So then you get the option to get the part.
Yes. And so when you purchase the part, Ivy will walk you through what installation would look like. We're also considering the option of having a linked handy person or contractor who's able to go in and install that part for you if the solution to putting in the part is just way, way too difficult above your level.
Sounds like me, like installing a compressor on a fridge, on a hypothetical micro fridge sounds.
You could do it. Ivy could walk you through it. Even though she's a villain, she could do it.
Even Adam points out Poison Ivy is a villain. Feel free to reach out with any future superhero comic book questions. That's why he's here. Michelle says, quite impressed. Michelle's very impressed.
Absolutely. This team was very impressive. Hit
that like button if you're watching this out here. If you got questions for Ivy, if you've got questions for Madison,
for Haley,
Adam, the producer who wants to talk about comic books. If you got questions, or me, if you don't have Ben fatigue yet. And then Richard says, Adam, I saw lots of superheroes on St. Patrick's Day. I think they were all down the pub. Richard,
he sounds like he's down at the pub
right
now.
Are you at the pub right now, Richard? Take a selfie.
Down the pub.
Down the pub. Okay, so there's lots of times, and I love the fact too that not only do you have the connection with like the handy person to fix it if that's where we're going with it, but I feel like there's a lot of connections. Like if it truly isn't able to be fixed, right? Like you could probably connect to like show me where I could recycle this item. You could probably show me where to buy a replacement item. I know that's not our favorite solution, but from a frankly a revenue stream standpoint, connecting me to someone that could sell me a new one would be cool. There's a lot of things you could do there.
Absolutely. And again, we have all of this data that we're able to analyze because we have access to this AI. So in terms of like energy emissions and the most financially reasonable next step, we have access to all of that too.
Madison, are you an undergrad?
Yes, I am. I'm a first year.
Oh my, you're a freshman?
Yeah.
And you guys came up with this idea? Was your whole team
Correct.
a freshman?
Yes.
Wow. So freshmen are what, 18?
I'm 19.
19,
But yeah,
man.
18, 19, yeah.
Round of applause again.
Yeah,
I feel
really,
like I'm
really
so
amazing,
impressed by this
amazing.
idea. And they won. They be graduate students, and we actually had over 100 students start off, and this team of freshmen won. So I'm pretty excited. And freshman women too.
All
so.
women team. Yes.
Woo-woo.
Incredible. Yeah, I was blown away by all the presentations. I really did enjoy the rotor one. I love the fact that you were solving a problem that you knew and understood personally. I think that's really neat. I love the fact that you incorporated a story of actually using this to try to fix a coffee maker. I think that's super cool. I think this is really neat because we junk so many small appliances.
All the kitchen appliances,
Yeah,
your air fryer and your cookers and slow cookers and
and stuff like bicycles and just
is a bicycle an appliance?
No, but that's what I'm saying. That thank you, Haley.
You're welcome.
A bicycle is not an
Who
appliance.
screens these people before we get on the air? I don't even know.
I don't know.
No. But no, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It could be used for so many things. There's so many things. You know, I bought my first house a few years ago. I had to learn so many things, like how to fix a sprinkler.
You fixed a sprinkler?
No, I don't know how to do it. I still don't know how to do it.
Ivy could do it.
So I call up somebody and they come out and they charge me $200 and now my sprinkler, one of them's fixed and now waiting for the next one to break again and I still have to pay. So I mean, I just feel like there's so many things that you could use this to fix. And I think that the applications are really endless to this.
Yeah, and in terms of sprinkler advice, most of the time when a sprinkler is broken, it's just like a little piece of rock in there.
She's a freshman.
That's it.
I know. These undergrads are
Have you owned
brilliant.
a home before? And she's teaching me.
She's a villain.
No,
She is the AI. She's actually here. It's embedded.
I believe it.
Why does she know how to fix a sprinkler and I don't? I love how you thought that women and elderly people was your target demographic. And I'm like, I'm 40-year-old man. I don't know how to do any of this stuff right now. Okay. I feel like anybody could use this.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, really cool. Now let me ask you, after today winning this competition and some of the feedback and the ideas that you've gotten, do you feel like this is an idea that you'd want to actually pursue and try to make a reality?
Yeah, so it absolutely is.
You want to drop out of school and fix coffee pots the rest of your life?
Drop out of school, I'm not sure yet.
Sorry.
Sprinklers. Get it right.
Sprinklers?
Yeah,
I'm
but
just kidding.
I'm really interested in bringing forward a minimum viable product, so kind of having a prototype as like a first step. But we have a revenue model right now, and I don't feel confident in it moving forward based on some of the criticism we got today, which was very valuable. So I'm going to go back to the drawing board a little bit and kind of reanalyze ad revenue versus premium usership. Yeah.
Yeah, you had a pretty robust advertising budget, I remember, and that advertising budget can kill you. Digital media advertising, pay per click kind of stuff, cost per click, cost per impression stuff can eat you alive before you even know if your ad is clickable or not.
Yeah,
it's kind of So I loved actually one of the questions that came out of a piece of criticism you got actually, which was, what if somebody makes a TikTok and starts revealing all your secrets? I actually thought that was.
Well, we're doing that right now, aren't we?
Yeah, I thought that was a great question though, but actually was a positive, not a negative, but a positive.
Yeah, word of mouth is something that I mean, social media is not word of mouth, but it's close enough that like it's really important that we're able to prove that we're creating real solutions for real people. An app doesn't really mean anything unless somebody or somebody through TikTok actually had an experience and saved some money.
Yeah. Well, I think it is. I think social media is the new word of mouth. It's word of mouth at scale.
It's a word of fingers.
Yeah. Word of fingers. I love it.
We're gonna make that work.
Something's gonna stick here today. It might be word of fingers, might be microfridge. I don't know. Something's coming back here. Yeah, but I think that could be really. I can't deal with you right now. This is great. I didn't know you were gonna be so good at this.
Oh gosh.
This is really good.
You're welcome.
All right. You're welcome. Oh, good. Okay. So then what's next for Ivy and Rotor?
So for now, See, I haven't really had time to think about this. We've just been going since I won.
We're going to Disney World now. What are you doing?
But yeah,
Going to the quad.
I think going forward,
on the quad.
Richard's
saying really congratulations on the invention and also the confidence to come on the show.
thank you.
Absolutely.
Prototype is what
You
I'm
want to try to
doing.
get a prototype?
That's what I'm going to try to do.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Get a prototype, float it out there, see if maybe some angel investors want to give you kind of a seed round of funding and see if you want to take it to the next level. That'd be really neat. That'd be cool. I think it'd be really neat if maybe next year when we do these kind of competitions, if we actually start bringing in some VC firms.
Well, we have one on campus called the Big Idea Competition, and it does bring in VC firms. It's specifically, and it's seed money. It's like the money here today. You could spend it at the bar if you wanted to, or on shoes. Like, who
Pretty
knows?
sure there's a covenant around spending it at the bar. This money you can spend at the bar. That money.
But the other one is seed funding, so they want you to actually make something with your idea. So there's options here on campus. There's an entrepreneurship center that you could go to. So we could talk later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, it's really great. What kind of takeaways do you have from this competition and this whole experience, Madison?
I would say open communication with your team. My team was a really diverse set of majors. We had a philosophy major, 2 pre-meds, and then a global business major, and I'm a finance and healthcare management major. And going in, and kind of up until last week, there were some levels of communication issues and just we weren't sure what everybody else knew in terms of how the actual tech worked, in terms of the financial reporting. Like, it was just a lot of it wasn't completely clear. And so when we got it clear, that's when I felt like we were confident to put the presentation forward. So I would say definitely learned from that. I would also say don't stay up all night building a P&L, because the next morning you're going to look at it and think it's terrible. Those are
the worst.
Yeah, I would sooner rather than later, looking at the feasibility of the project would probably be more valuable. But obviously it turned out fine and we learned a lot.
Yeah, that's great. We did a great job with it. And Haley, what kind of maybe final thought would you give people out there as they're thinking about sustainability and the way that mixes with business?
For me, it's all about thinking critically. I know we listen to the news and we think this is the best option and you should go vegetarian, but potentially you could be having
really rice, people.
You could be having a bad, So just, if I could say anything to anybody out there, is just think critically about what you're doing, and you may think it's the sustainable option, but it might not be, and vice versa. So just think about it, and just always, I think, question your assumptions is something that I think about a lot. Is like, why am I assuming this is the right way? Is it? So think critically.
I like that. And I remember the kind of opening that the dean was talking about, and he made a point that said a society without sustainable businesses, isn't sustainable. Without healthy business isn't sustainable. And businesses in a society that's not healthy are also not going to be sustainable. And I think that we have a really unique opportunity as business people, owners, operators of businesses, to leverage our investment, leverage our influence, our control, to make sustainable decisions and to make good decisions, and small little decisions add up too, in the aggregate. And one of the things that the keynote speaker said is, we shouldn't say, well, my neighbor's making bad decisions, so why should I make good decisions, right? Because they all add up and they all mix together. And so I think that was something I took away as well. So thanks everybody for checking this out. We wouldn't have a show without y'all watching this. So hit that like button, get in the comments, let everyone know how they did. Also, we have another special Friday edition, which we don't normally have. We got a Friday edition with Chuck White, the president of the International Association of Movers, and Brian Liparopoulos, vice president of the International Association of Movers. We're going to be talking about the conference coming up in Toronto in October, as well as other things. So stay tuned for that. And thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks so much, Madison.
Thank you.
Thank you. This has been a blast.
Thank you, Haley, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Take care, everybody.